Make anabolic gains again, baby. Okay, anyways, so before we start with reacting to people happy about the last epoch delays, which I am really not happy about. I know why streamers are happy about this. I'm not happy about this because they can farm now. They can farm 2 weeks of this, then 2 weeks of that. They get content, yada yada yada. But before we start that, obviously we're gonna do a little bit of Hasan drama. Let me just change to just chatting, save it, and then also I think I need to add a tag, right? Do I need to add a tag, man? Man, these tags, let me tell you. Let's see, tag, English politics, gaming, reactions. Okay, yeah, that's fine. So tags are fine. Alright, let's go. So first things first, XQC dies laughing at Destiny. This is 3 days ago, perfectly predicting Hasan talking about him before checking his stream. Let's see what this is.
Out of a total of like 450
this
videos.
Like
so that's at least 1/5.
I've uploaded 450 videos between my 3 YouTube channels in the last
I'm going.
August. And he's gonna pay. I would have thought it would have been over 1,000 videos, but you know.
His working life spent talking about Hasan. In contrast, in the same span of time, Hasan has uploaded over 1,200 videos, and he's talked about Destiny a total of 5 times. 4 of them.
Like, Hasan talked to me 5 times yesterday. What is this framing? It's actually unhinged.
Like, I genuinely think Destiny's unhealthy obsession over...
I need a break. Come on! Really? No, come on! Seriously?
That's actually fun. That is actually funny. All right, cool. Before we watch that, I'm honestly more interested in this. Israel breaks ceasefire. Yes, dude. Fuck the terrorists. Let's go.
Breaking news at 11, Israel launches new airstrikes on Gaza.
At least 400 people have been reportedly killed from surprise Israeli airstrikes.
Particularly young children being rushed into hospital, small lifeless bodies being held by parents as they try to get treatment for their children.
Sucks. Release the hostages, surrender, dismantle Hamas. I'm sorry, strength rules. Okay, strength rules. I actually want to watch a video. This was Theo Vaughn talking to Candace Owens, and she's asking something like, are we living by the laws of the jungle? And it's like, technically, yes, you always live by laws of the jungle. Strength rules. It is what it is. Now, strength might not rule in a civilized society, but global relations have nothing to do with civilized society. Strength rules. I'm sorry. Oh, America is attacking the Houthis? Well, listen, America is the big guy. Houthis, the small guy. Houthis attack American ships. Guess what, motherfucker? You're gonna get shot down. Right, wrong, doesn't matter. Do you have the strength to back up your righteousness? No? Then shut the fuck up. Stop doing stupid shit.
Many of them, it's simply too late.
My proudest legacy will be that of a peacemaker and unifier. That's what I want to be, a peacemaker and a unifier.
While I was in the...
True. Peace by strength is actually the only peace. You will never ever have peace any other way. Why? Because human nature exists. Ugly and evil people will take the reins at some point, and unless you have the power to defend yourself, guess what, motherfucker? You're gonna get shit on. Okay? Peace by strength is the only way to make peace, okay? By the way, let's also not forget what peace is for these terrorists, okay? Peace for them is when everyone believes in Allah, okay? When Jews don't exist, when everyone submits to their regime, and then there will be peace. You know, when they say, Islam is the religion of peace, which, by the way, I do believe many people who believe in Islam believe in the peace of Islam, right? Not like, we're not attacking others, we're not, whatever, right? Yes, many of them believe that. However, the ones who are acting in the name of Islam and create terror and all that stuff, right? Not all of them. Obviously, this is not the whole population. I would say vast majority of people just want to be left alone, live in peace, okay? However, the ones who are in power, the terrorists who are in power, their idea of peace is world domination. Okay, if everyone agrees with us, then there will be peace. Which, by the way, when they had the tribes, right, the 7 tribes or whatever before, like, you know, then they had like 7 different versions of Islam or whatever. Guess what they had? They had war, right? And guess which tribe won? The one that wants to eliminate everyone else. Why? Because they eliminated all the other tribes as well. Okay? Their mentality, the tribe that won, the mentality of, well, if we subjugate everyone, there will be peace. Guess what? Guess who had that notion of peace too? That's right. Starts with an H. World War II. You know it.
Process of reading this article, it seems that the Israeli occupation forces have heavily started bombing Gaza. We're going to switch gears back to that. Here's Zana. Israel is heavily bombing Gaza again. There is no ceasefire. Israel is repeatedly and single-handedly violated again and again. Domestic repression of protests and speech did not coincidentally coincide with Israel's renewed siege and bombardment of Gaza. I received the following text from a friend here. Huge
Release the hostages. Stop killing the hostages. Stop abusing the hostages. You are not... This is what bothers me the most. You guys are the ones at a disadvantage. Ain't no fucking way you get to dictate the terms. Release the fucking hostages, dismantle Hamas. That is literally the demands of the strong side. You don't want to do it, face the consequences. Simple as that.
Explosions now, Zana, as if it's the apocalypse. All parts of the Gaza Strip are now under heavy bombardment. I just heard. There's no news about it here. It's so scary. How are you doing? The family. CNN. Israel says it's conducting extensive strikes against Hamas and Gaza, throwing doubt on the fragile ceasefire. Trey Yingst, on the other hand, says the ceasefire between Israel and Hamas is over. Israeli jets are now striking Gaza. Why is CNN talking about, throwing out fragile talks about the ceasefire when you got people like Barak Ravid? Israel resumes military operations against Hamas and Gaza after the group rejected U.S. proposal for extending the ceasefire. Israeli Prime Minister's office says, here's a statement from Benjamin Netanyahu's office. Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu and Defense Minister Israel Katz have directed the IDF to act forcefully against the Hamas terrorist organization in the Gaza Strip. This comes after Hamas repeatedly refused to release our abductees and rejected all offers.
There it is. This comes after Hamas repeatedly refused to release our abductees and rejected all offers it received from the U.S. President's envoy, Steve Witkoff, and from mediators. Get fucked. Fuck around. Get fucked in return.
It received from U.S. President's envoy Steve Witkoff and from mediators. The IDF is currently attacking targets affiliated with the Hamas terrorist organization throughout the Gaza Strip with the aim of achieving the war goals defined by the political echelon, including the release of all of our abductees, living and dead. From now on, Israel will act against Hamas with increased military force. The operational plan was presented by the IDF at the end of the last week and approved by the political echelon. The war has returned again. At least 15 people, including 5 children, have been killed across Gaza. Gaza civil emergency reports. Palestinian civil emergency reports at least 35 airstrikes across Gaza, hitting Khan Yunis, central Gaza, and Gaza City, according to Al Jazeera English. At least 8 people.
Who believes Al Jazeera? Let's be real. Like, let's be real. They probably prepped kids to begin with. These 8 people confirmed killed in Gaza City. Have been struck. Video shows killed and uninjured, including children arriving. I mean, look, it's always sad when kids die, but like, honestly, dude, release the fucking hostages. You want the strikes to end? You know, like, I have this funny magnet on my fridge. It's like, morale will the bidding will continue until morale improves. Well, the bidding will continue until you release the fucking hostages.
People have confirmed being killed in Gaza City. Tents in central Gaza have also been struck. Video shows killed and injured, including children arriving at the Indonesian hospital following strikes in Beit Hanun and Beit Laiha project in the north. Al Jazeera Live with Moin Rabbani.
The other comment I would make is that Israel could not be doing what it is doing tonight without the approval of the United States. If Washington...
Yeah. Guess what? We're done dealing with terrorists, man. This war has gone for long enough. It either ends ASAP or it ends ASAP. Whichever way you guys want it. But the ones who are in power are the ones dictating the rules of the battle. Not the weak ones. You can call them morally corrupt. You can call it a genocide. It never fucking mattered, bro. The strong ones dictate the fucking pace. That's it. Let's be real here for a second. If Hamas could, they would destroy Israel in a heartbeat. They just don't have the strength for it. Good. If they had the strength for it, I would say the same thing to Israelis who are crying. It's like, if you had the strength, either with your allies' diplomacy or with like your own strength, you had it, you wouldn't be losing to Hamas. That's literally the rule of the fucking world, man. When you live in a civilized society, in a country, whatever, then you have like, you have forces like the police, the army that defend your rights, but you don't have any actual rights unless somebody defends them. If you live in a cave and another person lives in a cave, you guys don't have any rights amongst one another. Rights need to be protected. Okay? If you don't have a force to protect them, there are no human rights. That's it. The what's called international courts and like the UN and all that stuff, if they can't actually make Israel stop, then Israel doesn't have to stop. That's how it is. For example, if the US wants to do something, they're gonna do it. Who's gonna stop them? If Russia want to do something, war in Ukraine, who's stopping them? Oh, you think oh man, they're abusing human rights. Oh, they're like, this war is like, it's immoral. Stop them then. You can't? Well then shut the fuck up. It's all it is. It's all about power. The word is very simple. Sooner you understand this, the easier it will be for you to accept this reality. The world is literally ruled by the strong. And strength can come in many different ways. Political, diplomacy, actual military strength. It doesn't matter. That's how the world runs.
Sends orders to Israel that Israel is required to implement the agreement and to basically stop the slaughter of the Palestinians.
Just to be clear on what you're saying, you believe that the United States will have known that Israel was going to carry out these strikes, and it's doing it with the backing.
And I think there are already reports that the Israelis are stating that they informed the Americans beforehand, which is another way of saying they sought and received U.S. permission prior to launching these strikes. Now, as far as the American attitude is concerned, that's also a little unclear. Do they hope to use these Israeli strikes killing dozens of Palestinians as a negotiating tactic, so to speak, to increase the pressure on Hamas?
What is your sense? Is this a negotiating tactic, or is
Hold up, bro. Hold up. What was that?
Israeli strikes killing dozens of...
Bro, that wasn't even a bomb. They just hit the fence. Look at this. Look at this.
Do
Look at
they
this.
hope to use these
Israeli strikes? Look, see? You see the fence here?
Strikes killing...
He's just hitting the fence, bro.
Dozens of
What are they showing? They're literally showing like the carriage hitting the fence as if it's like a bomb strike. Are you fucking kidding me, bro? Bro, the driver fucked up. Why are you showing this as if this is like an attack from Israel?
Palestinians.
They literally just fell because the fucking horse, or donkey actually, went too close to the gate and it hit the gate, right? It hit like this corner of the carriage, which then made it turn a bit, right? And the momentum just threw people off to this side. Like, why are we looking? Because see, like all of these guys are standing. These guys, if let's say the impact came from the left, right, and like they fell because of the explosion, why are these guys standing here? No problem. If the bomb came from the left side, bro, like I love Gazan propaganda, Palestinian propaganda. I love it.
Negotiating tactics, so to speak, to increase...
Look at it, all like what? There was no explosion, bro. So like, why are you showing this?
Pressure on Hamas.
What is your sense? Is this a negotiating tactic, or is this the end of the ceasefire?
A negotiation tactic.
It's really difficult to say at this point.
Don't negotiate with terrorists, bro. Don't negotiate with terrorists. They don't want to negotiate. Their terms are usually unacceptable anyways.
Suspect that from the American perspective, it's being seen as a negotiating tactic.
What a crazy way to negotiate.
To use this to derail the agreement in their
Let's just
entirety.
kill 30 civilians.
That's actually a pretty good way to negotiate. That is exactly how Hamas is negotiating all the time. Yeah, you negotiate after showing like you have the strength to destroy them. If you don't prove your strength, how are you going to negotiate? Why would they even negotiate with you? Well, it's not a problem for us. Like, we need to negotiate. We can just keep going, right? This is exactly why Hamas always kidnaps civilians. Why? And military people, because they know if they don't have the power, but because they have the leverage of a hostage, they can negotiate. Of course, this is a good negotiation tactic. Of course, people who don't understand this are fucking morons.
And so we'll have to see how this plays out. Hamas, from its perspective, believes it has shown flexibility by agreeing to a limited extension of the first phase, provided that serious negotiations immediately commence on the second stage. And this is something that appears to have been...
it's like claiming that you're haggling to buy a horse by stealing the horse and then beating the out of that person. But you're like, well, I was just haggling.
To us on the news,
$0 for this horse.
Well, how much appetite? I mean, you're in the States. We've seen protests restart in various places around the world, including Canada, against the recent blockade by Israel. How much appetite is there? How is the world going to stomach Israel going?
Who gives a shit, bro? Who gives a shit what the world says? If they can't stop them, who gives a fuck? That's all there is. Like, the thing is, right now, the whole world is already against Israel anyways. Why? Because they fucking migrated so many Palestinians, so many Arabs who are like Palestinian supporters into all of these Western countries en masse, where like France is like, what, it's like fucking 60% Palestinian, Arab at this point. I don't even know, right? It's like when you have like, you know... It's like, what do you think? Like you're gonna be like, oh yeah, Israel is good, guys. No, man. Of course they're gonna support Palestinians. No one gives a fuck. Tired of it, man.
Back in this way and killing dozens of Palestinians once again when they're already so clearly on their knees?
You know, that question can be asked in two ways. The international community and increasingly public opinion in the West.
Of course it's Trump approved. Yeah, of course. Two Israeli officials told me that Israel notified the Trump admin in advance of the airstrikes and briefed it on the objectives. Look at that. Uniparty, baby. King Uniparty.
Only the Trump administration, but also very much its predecessor, the Biden administration, which is not only lending their support or acquiescence to what Israel is doing, but is complementing it by launching unprecedented campaigns.
Hello?
Now from
unprecedented campaigns. I bet he was going to talk about like the attacks on Houthis. Bro, I'm sorry. The Houthis have attacked, what, 300 ships in the last year, 50 of which were like US ships. I'm sorry, what the fuck is the purpose of the US military if they can't defend their own fucking ships? Okay? What's the purpose of the Navy if they can't defend the water that they're using? Are you kidding me, man? You don't attack somebody and expect them to just lay down. I mean, if Biden, like he was like, "Yo, guys, come on, stop!" And they send more ships, and it's like the Houthis attack them, and it's like, guys, come on, guys, come on, guys, like, come on, I don't want to attack you, and I won't, but come on, guys, please. Then they send more ships and they attack them. It's like, and then Biden goes on his knees like, come on, guys, please, I don't want to use the military. It's so masculine, and it's like we just have trans people in the military now. We don't want to fight. We just want peace, man. And then they send more ships, and the Houthis attack them, and it's like, well, thank God, Biden's out of office now. Trump takes the reins. What is it? 2 months in, almost. And he's like, guys, I have internal problems, but I'm getting to you. And he got to them. And he started attacking them. And man, good on him. Fuck him. If you are not in a position of power, you don't fuck around like that. Okay? And also, I don't really care if you consider Houthis, Hamas terrorists. Honestly, this is just a title. I don't give a shit if they're terrorists or they're like a defense force or like whatever. I really don't care. The important thing is they are aggressors against, they're the aggressors. They're a tiny, a weak force that is aggressing against a stronger force. How stupid are you to pick a fight when you're like this tiny little piece of shit, like insignificant gnat, okay, if that's the word, right? With like no military superiority, no financial superiority, no like manpower superiority. You have absolutely zero in terms of superiority. Not even your defense systems are up to par, so you can't even defend yourself. And you think you can just attack US ships? You think you can just like attack the Israel and expect no consequences and then like cry me a river, cry victim when you get fucked? Get the fuck out of here, bro. Don't mess with a bigger power. Ukraine was messing with a bigger power. Look where it's now. Probably gonna lose the negotiation. Why? Because they're weaker. Why are you messing with the Russian? Like, you were asked not to bring NATO. And again, I'm not even in favor of Russia. I'm just saying, like, from a logical perspective, you were asked not to bring NATO close to the Russian borders. And then Ukraine's like, we want to join NATO. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, you're joining NATO. You're not fucking joining NATO. Fuck you, just say. No, you are not joining NATO, bro. And boom, that's it. Obviously, this started also before with Crimea and whatever. And there's a whole like back and forth there. I'm not justifying Russia. I'm just saying I can find the reason behind it, right? Obviously, if Putin wasn't as headstrong as he is, maybe they wouldn't attack. Maybe they would come to some agreement. In my opinion, Russian and Ukrainian people are really not different culture-wise, everything. Like, language, a lot of Ukraine speaks Russian. I don't know why they're not just in a strong alliance to begin with. But, that's a whole other geopolitical issue. I'm just saying that's like, I can find the reason. But it's like, you don't mess with a big dog. If you're like a fucking poodle, like a tiny poodle, like those, a chihuahua, fuck it. You can bark from across the neighborhood, like 10 miles away. You can bark at the big dog. But bro, if you're barking at the big dog when he's right next to you, you're about to get eaten. You better stop. So yeah. Anyways, I don't think there's much more to say about this. Let's see if this gets any better.
It was so that he could engage in emergency funding to Israel. As I said at the time, the only important aspect of Trump's ceasefire was the fact that he was capable of getting Israel. He could have kept re-upping Israel and rearming Israel without a ceasefire at all. But he did.
This is going to be my last point. You actually want to rearm Israel. Because then they can actually use the excess ammunition to do more targeted strikes. If you didn't arm Israel and Israel was running low on ammunition, they would stop trying to be so precise and they would start making every bullet count, quote unquote, every rocket count. You don't want to see a scenario where 30,000 Israeli rockets only kill 24,000. You would see a scenario where 30,000 rockets would kill 240,000 people at least. Okay, if not like 1.24 million. Okay? You want them to be armed. Because if they're running out, bro, they're gonna stop being as generous as they are with their bombing. And again, obviously generous is kind of like a subjective term here. I'm just saying, could be a lot worse. Statistically speaking, the amount of ammunition, the amount of rockets, rocket fire, the amount of like damage that Israel has done with the amount of material that they used is the least of any other war that ever happened. Okay? They're trying really hard not to hit civilians. And honestly, they probably can only because they have the excess ammunition to spare. If you're shooting rockets at Israel, your rocket costs like, let's say, $1,000 to $10,000 to make, and Israel has to spend, god damn, how much does it cost? How much does an Israeli missile in the Iron Dome cost? Okay, Israel is spending 50,000 per missile, and you're spending 10,000. If Israel starts running out of these defense missiles, there's another strong way to defend itself, and that is annihilate the threat completely. So you should be happy that they're supplied with rockets. Okay, money isn't infinite. US sure makes it seem like it is, but it isn't. And if this shit starts running low, you better bet that they are not gonna go so easy on Gaza. And yes, they are going extremely easy on Gaza. It's literally simple math. Okay? Anyways, that's it for this video. Hasan, as always, you're wrong. It's fine. It is what it is.